The Joe Rogan Experience.
So that's going to be this summer. Are they going to do it with crowds?
That's a good question. I don't know yet. So the Japanese prime minister made an announcement, public statement saying, hey, listen, we're going to host the Olympics this summer no matter what. One of the interesting things about it is although it's happening in 21, they're still calling it Tokyo 2020.
Oh, wow.
I think they were saving face for all the marketing material that they already made that cost them billions of dollars, right? To change the zero to a one. Is that really worth $5 billion or whatever it may have cost them?
That's interesting.
But it's going to be interesting how they figure it out because the Olympic Village is like a town. There's 10,000 coaches and athletes from every country on the face of the planet, all put into a 1 mile radius on this Olympic campus. And there's just so much interaction, engagement. I'm talking the cafeteria at the Olympic Games is 5 football fields long. They've got a McDonald's, like a full-size McDonald's in the cafeteria in the Olympic Village. They've got foods from all different parts of the country. You've got an Italian station, a Japanese station, American station, and a Pan-African station. It's insane. You have literally thousands of people swirling in at all times. It's 24 hours. You can go get a Big Mac and
at the McDonald's
apple pie
station
at all times. Bro, like, for if you're coming from America, you can go down the street. There's a McDonald's within, a mile of anybody while you're here stateside. But if you're coming from one of these smaller countries, you're coming from Guinea-Bissau or you're coming from, I don't know, Qatar, like you're like, damn, McDonald's sounds pretty good. I don't get this at the crib. Let me go ahead, grab me a little quick couple McChickens, couple double cheeseburgers, put them in the room.
God, but you would think that someone competing in the Olympics would want to fuel their body with the best possible food available.
Some of them know they can't win.
Okay.
Like everyone going to the Olympics isn't expecting to win a medal. Like 90%, very large percentage of the competitors at the Olympic Games, it's a long shot for them to get on the podium. They're going with the expectation like, hey, listen, I'm representing my home country with pride. I am going to a country that I've never been before. Hopefully I can be on TV. My family will be watching me back home. The opening ceremonies is the best experience for them because they get to be in a full packed arena around all the athletes that they've seen on TV, but they know that realistically they're not going to win. So when that McDonald's is open 24 hours, they're like, let's go, bro. We're going here.
Do they have to pay for it?
Free.
Oh, that's good.
Everything's free.
That's good.
So it's an interesting perspective being in the Olympic Village. It's a cool spot.
It's got to be a wild experience to be there. It must feel surreal.
It's wild. So they're really strict with the way that they administer athletes and people to get in. You have to have a guest list if you want to bring anyone in. They have to be approved 7 days in advance. So let's say my wife, I'm like, hey, I want my wife to come into the Olympic Village, check out our living space, check out the free McDonald's. Then I have to put her on the list 7 days in advance, and it has to be approved by the USOPC and then also, the IOC.
Wow.
And so it's a very
Brazilian athlete in the 2016
bro, they're not
Olympics.
playing, dog. I'm telling you, Joe. Like they get it.
After
they get
he was
it in.
done. After
and he's
done.
like,
after he was done.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Well, he's
taking
picking
that
out.
all. He's taking that home with him. He's putting that all in his suitcase. He's gonna go start him a little McDonald's of his own when he gets back to the crib. But it's so when you get in the village, you have to. It's almost like going through TSA at an airport. You got to show them your badge. They scan it. You got to get all of your bags checked and make sure that you're good to go. You don't have any thing lethal in your bags. You get inside. And it's literally like an apartment complex, huge apartment complex. Look
at
the line,
that.
Bro.
McDonald's is the most popular restaurant. That's crazy.
That's
a crazy line.
They're not getting salads and chicken selects.
No.
They're getting
burgers.
cheeseburgers and McChickens and I listen, hey, whatever you need to do to be the fastest man in the world, do your thing.
Well, I guess also, like, when you're done, you probably just want to treat yourself. You've probably been eating very strict for a long period of time.
Yeah, crazy. That was when I won the gold in 2012, my first meal afterwards was McDonald's. Very first meal.
Good job.
I had double cheeseburger with a high C orange to drink and a large fry. So crazy story. I'll tell you the story. So I win the Olympic gold. Right after you win, they take you back to what they have, like a media house. So it's got all of the publications from all over the world. You've got AP, Sports Illustrated, NBC, just pretty much everything. And so you go back and you just bounce from room to room. It's like, okay, we got Al Michaels here. We got Bob Costas here. We got, Joe Rogan here. And so you go, you show your medal, you tell them about your experience, where you're from, who you are, what you're going to do with all this money and fame that you've just won. And then so as soon as you're ushered out of there, you competed at 8 o'clock and you don't get out of there to close to midnight. So by the time it's midnight in London, really the only thing open is McDonald's, right? So I'm still in my podium outfit. Like literally what I wore on the podium, I'm still in it at midnight. And so we go down to like Piccadilly in London, and the only things open is the McDonald's. And so we went to like a club for a little bit. One of my sponsors at the time had like bottle service. They wanted to celebrate me. So we leave there. We go to McDonald's. I get inside and packed. Clubs just let out. Everyone's like hungry. They're hungover. They just got done for the night full of drinking. They're all in line. Line's crazy. I go into the McDonald's. I'm like, damn, it's a long day. I wrestled all day long. I do not want to stand in line. I just want to see if I can work my way to the front. So I go and ask the guy. I'm like, yo, bro, listen, I just wrestled all day at the Excel Center. I just won an Olympic gold. Like, you think I can get in front of you? And he's like, you didn't win an Olympic. What? Stop. And I'm like, bro, I won the Olympics. He's like, no, you didn't. And so I had my medal in my pocket. I had my gold medal in my pocket. So I pulled my gold medal out and showed this guy. He's like, starts going nuts. Oh my God, this guy. So he's yelling. He's pushing people out of the way in this McDonald's. He's like, this guy just won an Olympic gold medal. Let him to the front of the line. Let him to the front of the line. And so he's pushing people out of the way, gets me, like literally escorts me to the front of the line to get me my quarter pounder and my large fry. It was wild.
That's the craziest cheeseburger fry story ever.
Cool. It was dope. It was awesome.
That had to be very memorable.
Yeah, it was fun.
Wow.
Man. That was fun.
Winning the gold medal. I know you've won the world championship, 4 times?
4 worlds, 1 Olympics.
But how much difference?
Nothing like it. Olympics are the best. It's rare. It only happens every 4 years. It's a single day event, so you have to be your best on that single day. You only get 1 cycle to prepare for. So we think of our careers like cyclically, where like if you're an MMA fighter, you're like, okay, I can get an opportunity to fight for the belt as long as I continue to compete at a high level, like keep my brand awareness at a good place. But in wrestling, the pinnacle is the Olympic Games. So no matter how many world championships you win, you want that Olympic gold. And the crazy thing is the worlds are harder than the Olympics. So the Olympics are a little more condensed in terms of the qualification process. So at Worlds, it's much easier to qualify. So you have 42 guys in your weight class or in your bracket at Worlds. You only have 16 at the Olympics. So in the World Championships, I won in 2015. I wrestled 6 matches. The Olympics I won in 2012. I only had 4 matches. And so, and it's a random draw too. So you could wrestle Russia first round, which would suck, or you could wrestle Puerto Rico first round, which would suck less. And so it's a really interesting experience the way these brackets are drawn. And I think that the Olympic Games has become so special because of everything surrounding it. You get more money, more notoriety, more recognition moving forward. Like winning the gold in 2012 catapulted me to where I am right now. Like when I'm recognized or announced at an event, it's always affiliated with that Olympic gold. Olympic gold medalist Jordan Burroughs. Like they always tell you, whenever you step off the podium, you will forever be an Olympic gold medalist. You can't lose that. You can lose your belt.
Right.
You can never lose your gold.
Right.
It always comes home with me at the end of the day, no matter what I do moving forward. So that's pretty cool.
That is an interesting perspective, right? Because if you're a fighter, you win the title, and then you lose the title in your next fight, you're a former world champion.
Former world champion.
But an Olympic gold medalist from 2012 is an Olympic
before
gold
it.
medalist.
They just say Olympic.
Yeah,
it's dope.
Yeah, you made it through, you did it, and that's it.
But then there's another guy who does it 4 years later.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
It's got to be a crazy experience. Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data cost, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.